Hey, it's Jeff Walker, and welcome to my list building blueprint. Now, I know it looks pretty simple here on the screen, but there is a lot going on behind the scenes. So the first thing you should do is download the actual blueprint itself. If you look below this video, there should be a link down below the video, and just click on that, and it'll probably open up in a new browser window. Or the thing to do is just go ahead and download it to your computer, and then you can open it up and follow it along. So like I said, there is a lot going on behind the scenes because this all looks pretty simple, but as we expand it out, you'll see there's a lot more going on like that. I mean, there's a ton of material here. If we go over here, you can see behind each one of these there's just more and more and more. So there's a lot of material here for you. And I'm going to be walking through some of it, but the details are really in the blueprint file itself. So go ahead and download that. So really, this whole thing is about the power of email publishing. We're up here. That's where we're going to start. The power of email publishing. I have been building lists myself since 1996. It's been a long time. And it has literally made millions and millions of dollars for me. I have the ability to write an email for, and that sends people to an offer. It could be an offer of mine, something that I've created for sale, or it could be an offer of someone else's where I'm sending as an affiliate or a joint venture partner. And it's literally write the email, I click send, and within minutes I could be sending hundreds or even thousands of visitors to those offers. And when you can do that, a lot of them will end up buying. So it really is, it's almost like this cash on demand. I think of it like as I've almost got a license to print money. It's crazy. And of course there's limits, there's things you can do and can't do. And that's what we're going to be getting into in the blueprint. But it is an amazing thing. And once you get your head wrapped around what it means to build your lists, it's something you're always going to be doing. So as we go through this, basically here, let me just walk through some of the power of email publishing here. And I'm not going to go through everything in the blueprint because there is so much here. It would take me a really long time. So go ahead, download that blueprint, and you've got it all in there. But the thing is, people have a very personal relationship with their email inbox. It's, if you think about it, it's like, are you happy with if someone else just sat down at your computer and started going through your inbox? Probably not. People, they feel possessive about it. It's a private space. And so if you get their permission to send email to them and you're landed in your inbox, you've now landed in a very personal place, and it can be very, very influential. And there really is no other publishing or marketing tool that gets right into people's inboxes like that. And you've got way more control with email than with other communication channels, because it's what we call a push medium, like where you can actually push send and it ends up in their inbox, as opposed to if you're running ads somewhere and you're just hoping people are stumbling on your ads and then actually looking at them and then taking action on them. Email, it's like you can create the impact when you want to create it. Lots more control. If you're going to use like Facebook advertising, you never know if your ads are even going to show up for people. And, people just don't go to, Facebook's incredibly popular, but it is not as popular as email. People are still checking their inboxes more often than they're going to Facebook. With other marketing channels, you have to wait for prospects to come to you. With email, you can, when you're ready to create some motion, when you're ready to create some action, when you get ready for people to click through to your offer, then you hit the send. You are in control. And so, it's an incredibly powerful thing. Like when you hit that send button, it's like being in a car and hitting, just a race car and hitting that gas pedal, and the acceleration is so unbelievably fast. It's incredible. Like, literally, I'll hit that send button on a broadcast to my email list, and I'll see people clicking through within a minute, within 2 minutes. It's amazing. And when you're sending people to an offer that you've put together for something that you've created, maybe you've created a great product, it is a beautiful thing to be able to send that kind of traffic. So I'm a big fan. I have been building lists, like I said, since '96. I've built lists. I put tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on my lists in multiple markets. And it's not rocket science. It's actually pretty darn simple. And that's what this blueprint is all about. So beyond there, I'm going to talk about the benefits, the different types of lists, some of the big mistakes that you need to avoid. And this is sort of hard-won lessons that, you just some basic stuff you don't want to screw up here. And I'm going to lay it out for you. How to really stand out in your subscribers' inbox so that, you don't just have a bunch of emails that, a bunch of people subscribing that aren't reading your email. You want them to open your email, read your email, go through your email, and take whatever action you want them to take, which is generally clicking on a link. And a lot of that is based on building authority with your list, and I'm going to go into that in quite a bit of detail. Then here in the first steps to building a list, we're going to go through these 5 steps. And again, behind each one of these steps, there's just a ton of material. So we're going to take you through those 5 steps. Again, download the blueprint, click on that link, download it to your computer, open it up, go through it, take your time going through it. I'm going to teach you about how to write compelling email copy so that people actually will click on your links. And I'm going to give you examples, go really deep here. Building an effective autoresponder sequence. And so what an autoresponder sequence is when someone joins your list, you have these programmed emails that will go out at whatever intervals you say. So like, they join your list and they get an email, and then the next day they get an email, and then 2 days later they get an email, and 3 days later they get an email. And you can program that any way you want. And it's one of the greatest tools ever, because now you're not even having to write the email. It's like once you write it, whenever people join your list, they are going to be set up to get that sequence. And you can build a sequence of emails that send people to a sequence of offers and literally make you money like on autopilot. It's a beautiful thing. And then finally, I'm going to get into building your list with joint venture partners. And this is list building on steroids. This is where you really turbocharge your list building. It's a pretty advanced topic. It's not something if you're just starting out that you're probably going to jump right into, but it's a good thing to be thinking about long term, because it is. I have literally put thousands and thousands of people on my list in the matter of just a few days by using joint ventures. Again, it's not the first thing that you're going to do when you start building a list, but if you're more advanced, then this is a great thing to do. Or even if you're just starting out, it's a good thing to start thinking about down the road, because building your list with JV partners is just really, really powerful. So that's just, I just wanted to sort of give you a quick overview of what's included in the list building blueprint. Basically, you're going to be able to walk through every step, all these, I don't know, there's probably a couple hundred different entries in here. And then at the end of that, I also have a list of resources. These are the tools that I actually use in my business. I've used, it's been so long, I've used just about every tool out there. And I thought I'd, give you a bit of a shortcut by giving you the tools that I use in my business. Some of them I've been using for 10 years now. Some of them I've just found recently. So it's a pretty cool list of tools that I use, and I think that could be really valuable for you. So go ahead and just download that the PDF down below. You can open it on any computer. You can save it to your computer, and it's my gift to you. And the only thing I got to say is the toughest thing with building your list is getting started. And a lot of people are intimidated. They think they have to have a huge list to get started. They think they have to have, that it's not, that it's going to take them years to build up a big list. Everyone starts with one subscriber. Everyone starts with that very first subscriber. And, when I started out, it was just slow and steady. And then I just gradually started to build up my lead sources and bring more traffic into my site and get better at getting them to opt into my list. And, you know, sooner or later, I got it up from 1 subscriber every few days to a few subscribers a day, up to 20, 30 subscribers a day. If you start adding 20 or 30 subscribers a day, now you're adding, you know, at 20 a day, that's like 600 a month. And 30 a day, that's almost 1,000 a month. And you can really start to get some amazing results. Even with small lists where you've just got a few hundred people on your list or 1,000 people. But the thing is no one is born with a list. I wasn't born with a list. No, everyone has to start somewhere. And I've done it over and over. I've started over. You know, I for years, I was publishing about the stock market, and I built up a big list, and then I decided I wanted to start teaching how to build a business online. So I had to start from scratch again, completely start over, 0 subscribers, and just start to build it up. And, you know, a few here, a few there, and then a few hundred, then a few thousand, and then 10,000, then 30,000. Now I've got over 100,000 subscribers there. And again, I started over from scratch. So just the key is to get started. And basically what you've got here in your hands or on your computer screen in my blueprint is basically, you know, my plan, how I've started over and over in different markets, and I've had, you know, I haven't failed yet. Every single time I have great success because it's just taking baby steps and getting that first subscriber and building from there. So go ahead, check out that blueprint, and let me know what kind of results you got, because I love helping people get into this business.